Top 25 Unhealthy Habits. You may not want to stop. But the one and only body you live in does. So be nice to it. Give up a few of your unhealthy habits. And start by identifying what they are. 1. You're self-diagnosing on the internet. This is a top gripe of many doctors and health experts, who say you might be second-guessing yourself out of good care. Letting the internet guide your decisions may delay a correct diagnosis and appropriate treatment. Talking to your doctor is essential to an accurate diagnosis that may be life-saving. 2. You're not treating acid reflux. Heartburn, or acid reflux, in which stomach acid backs up into the esophagus, causing burning or pain in the chest or throat. If you experience heartburn regularly, it's not a good idea to keep popping antacids. It could be a medical condition that needs a doctor's attention. Over time, stomach acid can damage the sensitive tissue of the esophagus, leading to a precancerous condition called Barrett's esophagus. That could develop into esophageal cancer, a particularly deadly form of the disease. 3. You're not drinking enough water. Our bodies need water so our organs and body processes can function optimally. And as we get older, it gets easier to slip into dehydration. Experts recommend drinking 1.7 liters or 7 cups of water every 24 hours. 4. You're eating ultra-processed food. One key to good health is to eat more whole foods and less processed junk. But experts have pinpointed a new enemy: ultra-processed food. 2 new studies published in the journal BMJ link highly processed food consumption with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and an increased risk of early death. It's been correlated to higher rates of obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all risk factors for a heart attack and other health problems. What counts as ultra-processed? The researchers listed sausages, mayonnaise, potato chips, pizza, cookies, chocolates and candies, artificially sweetened beverages and whiskey, gin and rum, among other things. Limit the proportion of processed food in your diet. Ground your diet in fruits and vegetables, lean protein and good fats. 5. You're eating too much salt. You probably consider fat and sugar public health enemies number 1 and 2, but are you keeping an eye on salt? Chances are, probably not. Studies show that most Americans consume about 3,400 milligrams of sodium daily, way over the recommended 2,300 milligrams, which amounts to about 1 teaspoon of salt. High sodium intake is a major risk factor for high blood pressure, which raises your chance of having a heart attack. Don't add salt to your meals. Limit your consumption of fast food and processed foods, which tend to come loaded with sodium. Look at the nutrition facts label. Choose the lower sodium version when possible. 6. You're looking at screens before bed. Close those screens well before bedtime to ensure you get enough shut-eye. The blue light emitted by computers, smartphones and TVs disturbs your natural circadian rhythm, which can lead to insomnia. Poor sleep has been correlated with serious illnesses like cardiovascular disease, diabetes and cancer. Turn off TV, phones, computers and tablets at least 60 minutes before lights out. Wind down by reading a paper book, writing in a journal, or chatting with your partner. 7. You're drinking too much. Americans love social drinking, but these are pretty scary morning after statistics. About 88,000 people die of alcohol-related causes each year, making booze the 3rd most preventable cause of death in the U.S. How much is too much? It may be more than you think. Experts say women should have no more than 1 alcoholic beverage per day, and men should limit themselves to 2. Any more than that, and you're putting yourself at risk for cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes and more than a dozen forms of cancer. 8. You're smoking. You know it's a major contributor to lung cancer, so much so, it's responsible for up to 80% of deaths from that disease. Additionally, smoking raises your risk for strokes and heart attacks. The toxins in cigarette smoke damage and weaken blood vessels, which can cause them to burst or accumulate sticky plaque that can lead to a heart attack. That's why cigarette smoking is the number 1 preventable cause of death. 9. You're not getting enough exercise. This is probably not a news flash. Most of us need to do a better job at getting regular exercise. In fact, only about 20% of American adults get enough. The American Heart Association recommends that adults get 150 minutes of moderate exercise, or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise each week. 10. You're not getting enough sleep. In recent years, science has learned more and more about how essential sleep is to good health and a longer life. Poor sleep has been connected to an increased risk of weight gain, diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, depression, even dementia. That's because the body repairs itself during sleep, everything from repairing cellular damage to sweeping toxins out of the brain to ensuring our metabolism stays on track. When you don't get enough, all kinds of processes suffer. Experts including the National Sleep Foundation say that adults of every age need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, no more, no less. 11. You're snoring. Snoring isn't just an efficient way to get kicked out of bed in the middle of the night, it could be sending you down the path to heart disease. Frequent snoring could be the sign of a dangerous condition called sleep apnea, in which the airway behind the tongue collapses when you breathe in, reducing or even stopping your airflow for up to a minute. Sleep apnea has been associated with high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease, according to the National Sleep Foundation. Researchers think that's because the condition causes repeated oxygen deprivation that stresses the blood vessels and heart. If your partner has told you that you snore, ask your doctor about it. They may refer you to a sleep medicine specialist. 12. You're eating too much saturated fat. You know that a high blood cholesterol level can contribute to heart disease, but what's a prime driver of blood cholesterol? Consuming too much saturated fat, the bad fat found in red meat, cheese, baked goods and fried foods, boosts the amount of cholesterol in your blood, which puts you at increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Eat no more than 3 moderate servings of red meat each week. The American Heart Association recommends that you get no more than 13 grams of saturated fat per day. 13. You're oversleeping. When it comes to sleep, as with everything else, moderation is crucial. Studies show that getting more than 9 hours per night may increase your risk of heart disease and dementia. 14. You're drinking sugary beverages. Empty calories are very bad for your waistline and heart, and sugar-sweetened beverages like soda contain some of the emptiest calories of all. 15. You're drinking diet soda. Diet soda is no healthy alternative to sugar-sweetened drinks. Multiple studies show that people who drink diet sodas and artificially sweetened beverages have a higher risk of metabolic syndrome, in which the body can't process insulin, leading to diabetes, weight gain, osteoporosis and a decline in kidney function. 16. You're eating too much added sugar. Consuming too much added sugar, the sugar that manufacturers add to foods to sweeten them or extend their shelf life, is a major risk factor for heart disease. The effects of added sugar intake is higher blood pressure, inflammation, weight gain, diabetes, and risk for heart attack and stroke. The American Heart Association advises that adults consume no more than 150 calories, about 9 teaspoons, or 36 grams, of added sugar daily. That's about the amount in one 12-ounce can of soda. 17. You're overweight. Slimming down can really beef up your lifespan. Carrying extra pounds contributes to a variety of health problems, including heart disease, diabetes and stroke. Studies show that overweight people who lose even a little weight, such as 5 to 10% of their total body weight, reduce their risk of cardiovascular disease. Know your healthy weight range. Eat a plant-heavy diet, reduce your consumption of empty calories and processed foods and get regular exercise. 18. You're stressing out. Excessive fretting and fuming can cause serious wear and tear on your body and put your health in jeopardy. Stress that's left unchecked can contribute to many health problems. Relieve stress by getting regular physical activity, socializing, keeping a sense of humor and engaging in relaxation techniques such as mindfulness. If your stress has become unmanageable, talk to your doctor. 19. You're buying low-fat food. Fat, consumed in proper amounts, doesn't make you fat. Too many calories make you fat, and low-fat foods may just leave you hungry. Come home from your next shopping trip with satiating, good fats, fatty fish, olive oil, nuts and avocados. 20. You're not eating enough omega-3. If you're not eating foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, you're depriving your body of one of nature's most potent nutritional bodyguards. Multiple studies show that omega-3, which are found in fish like salmon, leafy green vegetables, nuts and flax seeds, have been shown to decrease the risk of heart attack and stroke, support eye and brain health, improve mood and ease arthritis. Researchers believe omega-3 work to quell inflammation throughout the body. 21. You're taking sleeping pills. You shouldn't need to rely on meds to get to sleep, even over-the-counter drugs. Some studies have linked the use of hypnotic, sleep-inducing drugs with an increased risk of cancer and death. Researchers aren't sure why that may be. Why risk it? There are many strategies you can follow before requesting a prescription, including meditation, relaxation and avoiding screens. Talk to your doctor. 22. You're drinking sports drinks. Sports drinks are not health food. Most contain the equivalent of 8 teaspoons of added sugar, along with sodium. Too much of either in your diet can cause high blood pressure. Physicians' advice, unless someone is exercising or competing in a sporting event for longer than 90 minutes, there is no reason to drink something with excess sugar and electrolytes. 23. You're eating restaurant food or takeout too often. Why does restaurant food taste so great? It's not just because you didn't have to make it. To add flavor, restaurant chefs often pile on the fat, butter, oil and salt. According to a study at the University of Illinois, the offerings at sit-down restaurants frequently have worse nutrition profiles than fast food. Eat out as an occasional treat, but cook at home the rest of the time. That way, you know exactly how much fat and salt is going into your meal. 24. You're eating too many canned foods. Your best bet is to cook with whole foods, such as organic fruits and vegetables, whenever possible, and limit your consumption of aluminum canned goods. 25. Click on the link in the description below this video for a lot more information that can get you on track for the great body you want and deserve. Most of all, you will be healthier and happier.